Hey team, here's a walkthrough, page 166, number 14. This is the video proof from the week 12 assignment. So here we go. We have these two triangles, ADM and BMC. We are asked to prove that they are congruent. We have two pieces of given information. First, M is the midpoint of AB. AB is this long line here. M is right in the middle. The consequence of that is that AM and BM must both be congruent side lengths. Cool. M is the midpoint of CD. CD is this long line. If M is in the middle, that means CM and DM must also be congruent. Cool. Now we have two pairs of corresponding sides that are congruent, but that's not enough to determine that these triangles are congruent. So what we can do is kind of dig in and see if there's any information that's kind of hidden in this figure. And in fact, there is. We have two lines intersecting, meaning these are vertical angles, and they must be congruent to one another. So now, by side, angle, side, we can definitely determine that triangle AMD is congruent to triangle BMC. Next, we're going to write it up, and I'll explain each step in the two-column proof. Okay, we talked previously, when proving that two triangles are congruent like this, you just need to show that the three pieces of information from the criteria that you are using are indeed true. In this case, we have a side, an angle, and a side. So basically, we have to prove these two sides are congruent, these two sides are congruent, these two angles are congruent. Here's how I did it. I started with step one, M is the midpoint of AB. That was given information. Didn't do any math, just wrote it down. Step two, it's an immediate consequence of step number one. Because M is the midpoint of AB, then AM and BM must be congruent sides. I put a little red dot by that because that's one of the three pieces of information that I need to prove. Next, step three, M is the midpoint of CD. Again, that is given information. I just wrote it down. I didn't even do any math. Step four is the immediate consequence of step number three. In this case, because M is the midpoint of CD, that means that DM and CM are two congruent sides. So I captured that because of the definition of midpoint. Again, a little red dot because that's the second piece of crucial information that we need, second of three. Last one, this is our kind of implied information, kind of hidden information here. I have angle DMA is congruent to angle CMB. So DMA and CMB, that's these two angles. The reason we know that they are congruent is because they are vertical angles. So I wrote definition of vertical angles. That is the final piece of information that we definitely need in order to use the side angle side criterion. So here it is. Step six, copy the proof statement. Triangle AMD is congruent to triangle BMC, and the reason is side, angle, side. There it is. Let me know if you have questions. It's important that we understand how to do these. If you need to watch it again, slow it down, whatever, do whatever you need. If that doesn't do the trick for you, let me know. I'm happy to help more.